Hi, thank you for joining me. My name is Marty Gotzing, and I'm Principal Engineer for InSource Solutions. What I want to do today is take you on a very quick overview of the GUI to our product that we call Plat4orm. Plat4orm is a virtual private cloud solution, much akin to AWS or Azure or Google or Rackspace. When you first initially log in, you will see the dashboard. The dashboard will show you a high overview of the number of VMs that you have, both running and stopped, as well as the number of networks that you have, as well as public IP addresses in use. You also from here can view and see what availability zone or region that you're located in. Currently I'm in the Z1 Lexington. If others are available, when you click on this icon, it will give you the ability to select that region and go to that region and view the instances that are in that region. Continuing to instances, the instance tab is where you will see all of your instances that are running within this region, both stopped, running, or destroyed. It will gives you various information offhand, such as a zone name, IP address assigned, and various other information, and the state. But you can also hover over the quick view and get a context menu of the various tasks that you can do with this instance at this given time. So you notice if I go to the one that is stopped, it's a little different. I have start instance versus stop and a few other things. On this screen, you can also click on metrics and get a 5-minute overview of the resources that that particular VM is using on the hypervisor. How much is assigned, how much of its assigned CPU usage it's using, and so forth with the RAM and CPU. If you have an affinity group assigned to you, this is where you would see it. An affinity group is a specific hypervisor that is assigned to your use and your use only. Continuing down into storage is where you'll see all of your different volumes that you have assigned to your VMs, as well as any snapshots. The difference between a root and a data disk: a root is where the operating system resides on the virtual machine. A data disk is a data disk such as a D drive or an E drive. The data disk can be allocated or it can be removed from a VM on the fly. If a disk is not assigned or a root disk is on a VM that is turned off, you can also download that if you wish and mount that on another hypervisor or some type of local machine. Moving down into network. Network is where you'll see all of your various networks that you have on this account. You're going to see isolated networks or guest networks, and you can also view any VPC routers or virtual private cloud routers that you also have. The main difference between a VPC and a non-VPC network is the ability to do tiering and the ability to have ACLs and rules between the different tiers and create that internal network that you would get even locally in your cloud here. More in-depth explanation of the networking as well as best practices will come in a later video. The Events tab is where you'd see any of the past events and which account and a user actually did those events, such as logging in, creating a VM, destroying a VM, adding a network. This is your audit trail. Accounts and domains. I'm going to quickly touch on this because more in-depth videos will be made for these two functions specifically. A domain is the top tier of your hierarchy. Underneath domains, you have accounts. Underneath accounts, you have users. How it is structured from a standpoint of a domain account user is all users within an account can see the VMs and the networks within that account. An account is a part of a domain. An account gets its resource allocations, its resource limits, such as the number of IPs, the number of volumes, number of instances, etc., from its domain. You, as the provider, can also have subdomains. So if you wish, you can have a customer, and if they request it, can create a separate domain, and they can have their own limits as well. This can also be done on the account level. So you have multiple ways that you can do this. But the one thing I wanted to make sure that I mentioned here was the hierarchical structure between a domain, account, and a user. Again, domains is your top tier. Then underneath domains you have accounts, and then underneath accounts you have users. Users can only see what's in their accounts, and the accounts cannot see each other. And then the region tabs. This is in essence just a same location as clicking above, but this just lists the name and the endpoint that you're going to versus just a listing. I'd like to thank you for listening. Please continue to watch our other videos that go more into depth on creating instances and using templates, installing from ISOs, creating networks in storage, creating virtual private clouds, and also best practices. Thank you very much for joining. Have a great day.